Hey, this is Matt. Welcome back to the channel where I'm going to be sharing with you who and what is to blame for so many guys still not being able to manage their hair loss properly long term, even in 2021 with so much information, so much good information about hair loss management online, and yet still guys not being able to regrow their hair. So what is the number one reason that is responsible for that and how to change it? That's exactly what this video is going to be about. So make sure you like it right now if you are enjoying these regular updates coming on my channel and you want to support my channel. Make sure you hit that like button right now. Thank you very much. Before we start with the video, this video has been brought to you by GoFiber, which are hair building fibers you can use to mask any thinning or patchy areas on your scalp to make your hair look thicker and better. So make sure you check out the link in the video description below where you can visit GoFiber, get a free sample of your choice from them and try them out. See if you like them. Hey, welcome back to the channel, everybody, where we are talking about things like proper hair loss management, catching your hair loss early on, regrowing our hair, and educating ourselves about hair transplants, and really how to get the most out of our hair despite suffering from hair loss. So if you are new to the channel and you are interested in learning about these topics and educating yourself about them, make sure you subscribe to the channel right now and hit that notification bell as well. Now let's come back to the topic where I'd like to talk about why so many guys in 2021, with so much information out there about hair loss, how to prevent it, how to manage your male pattern baldness or androgenetic alopecia, they're still unable to do it. They're still unable to regrow their hair. They're still unable to thicken their receding hairline. They're still unable to reverse that hair loss to an extent, or at least slow it down. Well, the number one reason would be that they start with that regimen way too late. It's already too late for this regimen, for this treatment to be efficacious. It's like with cancer. If you have cancer in a very advanced stage, you are less likely to be successful, unfortunately, with treatments like chemo compared to somebody who has just discovered the cancer and he's much more likely to reverse it and become healthy again. So it's the same thing with hair loss, unfortunately. And even if guys eventually start with things like ketoconazole shampoo, minoxidil with microneedling, and finasteride, which is the big three that you usually find everywhere if somebody wants like credible information on how to stop hair loss as a man, how to stop androgenetic alopecia. That's the thing that you usually hear, and that's something that even dermatologists who are good dermatologists and hair transplant doctors should always recommend, as the first line of attack against hair loss. And the problem is that guys usually started way too late when they're already Norwood 3, Norwood 4, and even beyond. And that's not good, because if we take a look at studies, for example, this 10-year study on finasteride, we see what? We see that the best responders are always the guys who are Norwood 1.5, Norwood 2, Norwood 3 at most. These guys will not only experience like a nice push during the first 1 or 2 years after starting with the big three, especially with finasteride, and these guys also rarely experience like finasteride has stopped working for them or the hair loss is still progressing. It's not the case as much as with the guys who are like Norwood 4, 5 and beyond, who start with the big three. These are usually the guys who, despite being on the big three, they start questioning it after several years of being on it. Like, is it working? Did finasteride stop working for me? Should I upgrade to dutasteride? Well, you could do it, you could try it and see how it goes, but the problem is finasteride is still working, because if you would stop it now, the hair loss would have been even worse. It just, you already started with the big three way too late. Obviously, treatments like minoxidil may not work for everybody, even if you start early on, and finasteride has shown much better response rates than minoxidil, but there has been also microneedling addition, which has been like closely studied together with minoxidil use, and it has been shown that even somebody who is a non-responder to minoxidil 5% only can become a much better responder just by adding microneedling to his regimen. Now, the efficacy of ketoconazole shampoo is kind of mysterious. Some people think it's like a DHT blocker, like topical DHT blocker. Some people are claiming it's only like antifungal and it's gonna take care of your scalp being healthy and your scalp pH being balanced. It's going to avoid things like dermatitis and dandruff. And it has been actually shown that no matter where ketoconazole shampoo has been added, either on a minoxidil hair loss prevention regimen or on some guy who has been using finasteride, it always added some extra benefits. So it's better to use it than not to use it if you are already using finasteride and minoxidil. So now that you know that big three is the thing that you want to be doing as somebody with male pattern baldness, and it's something that you want to start doing as soon as you notice your hair loss, now let's talk about what are the main reasons why, despite of knowing that, guys still start way too late and they're much less likely to see the best effects from that big three. Well, the first reason would be that actually they get kind of confused and brainwashed along the hair loss prevention alley. They go on internet, they research online, and they get all these mixed messages from guys fear-mongering finasteride, guys who are against minoxidil, guys who used minoxidil were maybe non-responders, and they kind of talk bad stuff about it, and that kind of discourages other guys from trying even minoxidil. And the same with finasteride. There are guys who are complaining about having low libido, a side effect which is oftentimes related more to them having low base testosterone levels and elevated estrogen levels, and as a result of taking finasteride, which is obviously going to slightly alter your estrogen levels, and obviously it's gonna diminish your DHT levels. As a result of that, there can definitely be some side effects which oftentimes have been shown to be very rare and also very temporary, not permanent. So these things will kind of delay that start with that proper hair loss prevention regimen by many guys. And during the time when they're delaying it, they're trying all the bunch of treatments like natural remedies. They're trying all that crap, let's call it, because that's a definition of something that is not working. It's like wasted money, and it hasn't been backed by any solid placebo-controlled trials, unlike finasteride or minoxidil or even ketoconazole and ketoconazole shampoo. So this delay of the start with the proper treatment will also lead in more hair loss, more hair miniaturization, and this hair will be then less likely to respond to that proper protocol once you start with it. Now, the second issue I see with guys who are like Norwood 2 to Norwood 3, who are on paper like the best responders statistically to the big three like finasteride, minoxidil, and ketoconazole shampoo, these guys are oftentimes, and it was also my case when I was losing my hair, I was in denial. I didn't tell anybody because you can see it as a comfort zone. If you're somebody between Norwood 2, Norwood 2.5, it doesn't look that bad, but it's going bad direction if you're not gonna act right now. It's like sitting on a couch, you're getting fat, you should go to the gym, but you are still sitting in that couch and watching Netflix. So it's the same thing. You should see it as a comfort zone, and you should know like how to snap yourself out of that as fast as possible, because if you do that, you are very likely to be successful with that big three hair loss prevention regimen. So that denial stage where guys are they're insecure and they're self-conscious about it on the inside, on the outside, they're obviously able to mask that hair loss somehow. It's easily to mask if you are just Norwood 2, Norwood 2.5. So maybe even people don't really talk bad about their hair loss because they don't even notice. The big problem starts when you are like Norwood 3.5 to Norwood 4. This is when you are most likely to get some comments on it from people, and people in general may tease you on it because it starts being more obvious. Unfortunately, now you are more likely to take action, right? Because it hurts. There is a lot of pain. People are doing bad comments and all that. But the problem is you are less likely to be successful with that hair loss prevention regimen, because on paper, statistically, as a Norwood 4 or higher, beyond, you are less likely to become successful with that hair loss prevention regimen. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. Obviously, do it right now if you are a Norwood 4 or even beyond. Get on the big three. But I'm just saying it's not going to be as great of a response statistically as somebody who starts as a Norwood 2, okay? Obviously, there are some great responders to this big three who are Norwood 4s and even 5s, but again, you cannot speak for every guy. So the take-home message would be to start with the big three as soon as possible. Obviously, if you are Norwood 2, Norwood 2.5, Norwood 3, you're going to be more lucky. It's going to be much more, easier for you to stick to that regimen long term, even without getting the transplant, as opposed to a Norwood 5 or beyond, who can already consider transplant right now with the addition of the big three, obviously, because you need to still manage your hair loss after the hair transplant as well. But take action right now. Don't stay with that comfort zone. Don't stay with that denial. Take action right now. You have the videos, you have seen how it goes, you see how it can end up when you start too late. You know how you can kind of decrease your chances of success if you start way too late. You know, it's gonna work, but it's not gonna work as great as if you would have started early on. So if you like this video, make sure you like it right now. Support my channel with that like button. Thank you very much. You can check out my website, mattdominance.com, if you are interested in the second step already, which is the hair transplant. You want to inform yourself about how to properly do it, how to maximize your success of your hair transplant, how to avoid clinics which are bad, how to reach to the clinics which are great. You can also speak to me one-on-one, where I can help you out and assist you throughout your research, as I'm doing with many guys. You can check out mattdominance.com/mentoring in order to get on a one-on-one call with me. You can check out several of my hair transplant related guides on how to research your clinic properly, how to find the best clinics in Turkey, a list of clinics, best hair transplant doctor collections worldwide as well. Check it out on mattdominance.com. You can visit our free Facebook group, Hair Transplant Experiences, with over 3,300 members in the group, where you can get some great support from other guys who are in the group experiencing the same issues that you are experiencing. And other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to be seeing you soon in another video.